Hey everyone, this is Tim from Stammer, and I was chatting with one of you guys in the Discord, and I realized we don't have a video created or any content really that says which of the models we recommend. Now you'll notice in our system that we default to GPT-4 Turbo, and that's because it's our most recommended model. And the other options in here are 3.5 Turbo. We only recommend that for very simple use cases where it's just, the chatbot is just responding to questions and not having to do lead generation or appointment scheduling. And the reason is that model doesn't seem to be able to handle as complex prompts as GPT-4 Turbo. GPT-4, that is the best performing model, but of course it's, twice as expensive than GPT-4 Turbo. So we don't recommend it. And it seems like GPT-4 Turbo performs just as well and certainly responds faster in many cases than GPT-4. Now, overall, I think what you need to do here is test and see what you think. If you're building out a chatbot for a customer and their use case is very simple Q&A based stuff, the user is asking a question and the chatbot just needs to respond. Well, 3.5 Turbo may work for them, but it's best to try it out and see what you think. And as far as which one to default to, we are working on a feature where you will be able to set the default model to use for your sub accounts. So we are working on that. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind when setting that is don't only consider costs, right? You also want to provide a great experience to your free trial users. So keep that in mind also. And that's why we don't just default to GPT 3.5, because it may give someone a bad idea of what these chatbots are capable of. So we like to default to the best experience, GPT-4 Turbo. And then if people have a simpler use case, they can adjust as needed. And then I actually got ChatGPT to explain to me some of the differences here. And let's just go through some of this quickly. So obviously GPT-4 has a better understanding of more complex queries. I've already covered that. And it can maintain the context over longer conversations more effectively than GPT 3.5. Another thing I should say here that it doesn't mention here is that GPT-4 Turbo has the largest context window. What that means is the amount of data you can continue to send it that it keeps kind of in memory. You can think of it like that, everything it can remember. So if you have a large prompt and a complex use case, you definitely want to use GPT-4 Turbo. Then, of course, also just in general, it handles languages and nuance as far as understanding context better. You can read the rest of this here. And then, of course, with task flexibility, GPT-4 has greater task flexibility than 3.5 Turbo. So that is it here. That is our recommendation, is to always use GPT-4 Turbo unless you have a very, very simple use case, whereas then you can try GPT 3.5 Turbo. And right now, we currently do not recommend GPT-4. We're keeping it around because there are some people using it who originally started using it with our platform, so it's kind of a legacy thing. But as always, if you do find a certain use case that you think GPT-4 is best suited for, let us know in the Discord. That is it. And as always, keep the feedback coming and let us know if you have any questions.